Well, hello everyone. You talk about here, talk about your transcripts. I'm sure that we've all heard of that before. Talk about transcripts. So you have right here, this right here will be example right here of a transcript right here. And I'm sure that we all know what a transcript is. It's basically a source of information that is recorded either on paper or on a document, electronic document, or any source of if you want to call it like any source of a page or format source of source of information. But you have right here, this right here will be a picture right here. Let's just say that if there was a transcript that was provided, and with the transcript that was provided, it basically means to where that any of that information. And let's just say if it was a job interview, then a lot of the information that was said, and then the only thing about agreements and anything that could be related to about, okay, we'll call you if we need you, or something like that, for like a job interview. And I don't know if any of us really thought about that, to where that if there was a job interview, if you really want to have that information recorded on a transcript. Basically, what is a transcript? It basically means information that's recorded on paper about what was said, and of course, during the meetings and all that. So say that, even though that if you did have to take if it was related to like a grade book, if it was related to a course that you wind up having to retake, that it could also be something else that had to be redone, and as well as having to redo, start back to square one, or anything else, maybe related to something on a tax return. But you have right here, this right here will be example right here of something that that it's not an actual transcript document, but this right here will be something kind of like an example right here of like a transcript. And if we've all done the study before about transcripts, so you have right here on the top of the page, it shows right here that the actions recorded. So let's just say that during the time of the quarter, that this right here will be the time recorded right here about that if they're taking online classes, as well as if it's related to the classroom, or it could also maybe be related to job applications. And so if we were looking at this right here, it's like applying for a job, and I want to know just a little bit to that. There was something to where you could record about maybe if it is taxes, but let's just say if it is maybe job applications. And on the top, it shows right there about the dates and times that whenever you apply for a job, and for who that contacted, as well as the work experience, and then other source of information that the job application would ask for. So the best ways of how to describe a transcript would mean is to where it's recorded. You can't go back and change anything. So it seems like that you have right here is this T-shirt right here, but still a lot of anything about on the grade book though. And I want to know too that they have here's this old T-shirt right here, but this actually was a prize actually. But your Rumpelstiltskin right here, if we could all see that right there for the Rockford Children's Theater. But you see right here that here's the T-shirt, but with this transcript right here, with the transcript that it basically means to where that anything that is recorded, that anything that so far as a work in progress, and then as well as anything else that is recorded. So let's just say that if this transcript was updated maybe 5 months earlier, so 5 months later, I could say that this stuff would have been recorded from earlier, but this stuff, anything that was recorded from prior, to that time, from during the time of the update. So let's just say that with this transcript right here, that it records all of the process information, all the information that was recorded during that time, and the period of time. And let's just say that if there was anything on the grade book that it did not go very well, such as to where that if you were trying to work on an assignment or something like that, or you trying to turn something in, or trying to work on getting a good score. But so sometimes it's like most students would say too that they don't really want to talk about, he or she don't want to talk about the reason to why that they failed on the test. And I know I really don't blame anybody that, if you really don't want to talk about reasons to why that you didn't do very well on an exam, or maybe there was an assignment that was a lot harder. And so that's why that looking at the transcript and then just knowing about is to where that yeah, the transcript is basically that whenever you're looking at a transcript, it just seems like a little bit of the opposite. That you think you have everything under control just to be able to do the work, and then a few things that go wrong, and anything that maybe that don't quite understand, but still though that whenever I'm looking at a transcript, maybe something like this, I can give an example right here of like that nearly 2 years ago that I didn't do very well on a certain course, or maybe if I didn't make earn enough points, or maybe make enough money during that time. And so looking back at that, if it's going to be recorded on a transcript, basically means that you can't go back and edit anything, can't make any changes from that recorded script. So it's basically that yeah, anything that's updated, but you can't go back and change anything that was recorded from the past. But still, that looking at that and making sure that you're looking at the right one. But I really see most of this information right here may only require for like the tax forms. But still though, that if this was maybe related to like maybe a grade book example, or maybe applying for a job, or about maybe meetings, so like if you have a recorded transcript about what was talked about during the meeting, if it's a conference meeting or something like that, and then want to know just a little bit of that too, that if it's training, that there will be a transcript that was provided. So transcript basically means that there's any discussions and talks of the matter, that maybe it could also maybe be package delivery service, that there will be a transcript that is provided. And you say that it's recorded, and yep, that recorded basically means as to where it's pre-recorded, you can't go back and change anything. But let's just say if there's anything that goes wrong though, and anything that goes wrong, that sometimes though, even though if it was 2 or 3 years ago, that sometimes it's like, that was 2 years ago whenever you didn't do very well, maybe that you were a little bit late getting to the meeting, and so like I wanted to, a part of the transcript could be missing from the original print date of the transcript. So there's, with the transcript right here, that we could probably say too, looking at transcript, that there's a lot of questions and concerns that go on in the matter, but one of those could also be about understanding about what a transcript is. So like I think too, that with the transcript, and want to know just a little bit of that, looking back at that, and want to know as to where does that deserve an A+, but no, but I say do the best we can, I talk about understanding about the transcript, but anyway, but understanding the best about the transcript. A transcript basically means to where that anything that is say pre-recorded, is recorded on a form, and yeah, that anything that goes wrong, and basically say anything that goes wrong, is that still going to be recorded, but still that information that shows the detail during that time period. So it's like, say, yeah, if you're going to be filing your taxes and want to know just a little bit too, working on the computer, and possibility that like say that yeah, you're going to be working on a computer, and want to know just a little bit of that too, that working on a computer, and say on your phone, maybe looking at some documents, and you went on your phone, and want to know just a little bit of that too, that anything that's recorded on a transcript, because somebody may ask as to where that if there's any transcripts that's going to be available for download from the mobile phone. So let's just say that if you're going to be on your phone, and let's just say if there's a transcript, can you really describe a transcript kind of like an answering machine, to where that any missed messages, any missed calls, could that be recorded on a transcript? But I just really think though that with the transcript, it provides the information in full detail about during the time that you were working a job, or you're attending school. It could also be about whenever you're filing your taxes, and other source of information as recorded on a transcript. But I really don't know, in case of anybody wanting to, where that possibility that is there a transcript available for like the President's State of Union address. Likely think too that if you're going to take about an hour or so of your time, between 7 or 8 p.m. You just watch the President's speech, and want to know just a little bit of that too. That hey, that watch the President, talk about the source of education, and want to know too anything that's recorded on a transcript. Anything that's recorded on a transcript, that's basically recording the information, that's recording the data that is recorded from the actions that are taking place, such as online sources and any activity that's going on during that time. That's all recorded on a transcript. So let's just say if this was part of the grade, though, and I guess the best way we could say is explain about any questions that go on with a form like this, because we all know that a transcript right here is not going to include any source of image, though. A transcript is basically going to include the writing right here. So you have right here that I use a picture right here just to show that, okay, that's me right there. And because this right here would also represent for like any source of photo identification whenever checking online. And then this right here will be the transcript information right here. So that sorts of stuff that just really to study about, huh? But anything about that's recorded on a calculator. But anyway, thanks for watching. I want to talk about what's recorded on a transcript. You say thanks and have a great day.